We had him at our Oscar parties once.
I might have seen someone do it with Harry Potter.
Yeah, he's really famous. He does, he has quite a few props and things on stage to do Foley sounds, and he does his own character voices, and he does this really crisp, abridged version of the entire Hobbit or the entire Lord of the Rings, and it's a one-man show. He's nuts. I wish I could remember his name right now. I'll look it up. But I admire people who can throw down
How
one-man
does
shows
he
like that.
stage Helm's
I love
Deep?
I mean, makes you wonder.
Very carefully.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder. One of the highlights of my stage life was seeing Leonard Nimoy do a one-man show once on stage, and he was portraying a famous painter, and he was literally painting and speechifying like only Leonard Nimoy could do, and it was just the best. It was so,
He didn't even know the
good.
audience was there.
and he randomly sang Bilbo Baggins.
You and your Bilbo.
Full circle.
Thank you for bringing it full circle. You know, Justin probably does want me to sing that song, but maybe not on today's show. Thank you. It's lovely to have you here. Thank you. You're welcome anytime.
So sorry, I'm dying and dashing.
Dine and dash. Anytime, any Tuesday, come throw down with us. We'll talk hobbits and stuff. Anytime. We're here. Okay. I hope I can. Yes, I hope I can. You guys?
Okay.
Thank you. Now, here we go. We have an audience here at Scum and Villainy Cantina. So for the last 15 minutes of our show, if you guys are in L.A. and you want to have a drink with us, come on down to the corner of Hollywood Boulevard and Cahuenga. Right across the street from Popeyes.
Right in front of Bob Newhart's star.
It is Mr. Newhart's star. Verily.
He has a great King Kong sketch.
Verily. He's right here.
And
very front.
Justin was really big on us trying the cherry soda on tap.
Yeah, he loves the black
It's
cherry soda.
Black
on tap.
cherry soda on tap. It is
Yeah.
amazing. We actually, as part of our regular weekly podcast, do soda tasting.
Yes.
So we've tried hundreds of sodas at this point, and this is probably the best
You
cherry
think?
soda I've ever had.
Greg is now diabetic.
I
because
am
of this.
type 2 diabetic from this podcast.
I've got some insulin shots here for you. Wait, hold on. The little man behind the curtain that we're not supposed to pay attention to. Here he is.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Justin.
My question is, you just went through in Denver the polar vortex or the storm of the century.
The bomb cyclone.
So the bomb cyclone. So the question is, what's it like feeling Saruman's wrath, and were the Fellowship right to go through the mines instead of braving the pass of Caradhras?
It was him? I knew I heard that voice on the wind from somewhere.
Yes, there's a foul voice in the air.
Sorry if I am mixing franchises. I'm not saying it was a bad storm, but the Night King showed up like at my front door. You know, it was
bad, huh?
It was
yeah.
that bad.
And it's
yeah.
pronounced Caradhras. Thank you, Justin.
Kurt Russell is trying to kill everybody he could see.
No,
absolutely not. Because, I mean, okay, we had this crazy storm that had a warm pressure pocket with cold weather Arctic storm on top of it.
Yeah.
So we had a hurricane, like Category 1 hurricane winds
Gusts,
with a
cold wind
massive
gusts.
blizzard hit the Denver area.
Yeah.
It actually, you know, I own the Dinosaur Hotel, and it took the hotel out of commission for 4 days.
You're kidding.
No guests, power lines down.
Did you have structural damage in the building?
No structural damage. It just no power.
Lucky.
So,
Wow.
you know,
No
but,
lights, no motor cars, not a single luxury.
Like Robinson Crusoe.
It was as primitive as could be.
and it was just a 3-hour tour. No, it was crazy. This, I mean, if there's one thing people tune into this podcast for, it's the weather.
It's true. He talks about the weather so much. I wish you wouldn't get him on
I
this.
really do.
But no, I agree with Justin bringing in that nice analogy. Saruman must have sent the equivalent of a bomb cyclone on top of
At
the
least.
pass of Caradhras. But that is a pass that goes by not one mountain, but three.
Mm-hmm.
Three very, very large mountains that are considered by the dwarves the backbone of their mythological universe. That's one of the places where they were first born, where the great Valar god created them out of the stone. So they have this worshipful quality to these mountains. So it's called
But a bunch of
Caradhras.
goblins took it over.
Or Zurak Zagil in the Dwarvish.
No, the mountain would have
No.
gotten worse.
They were correct to
through the mines.
back down and go through the mines. some
We've
more.
seen
Yeah,
apparently
that's
Mount.
But that
But only
sacrifice-
Gandalf. They would have all died if they stayed on the path.
That sacrifice was required by the
And
story.
Gandalf was reborn anyway.
yeah,
so.
and he knew it probably.
He says in protest, Justin is screaming, but the Gandalf Balrog confrontation, and the Balrog got him, and he's dead. And I'm like, that sacrifice, if you had read the letters of J.R.R. Tolkien, you would know that Gandalf knew, and Tolkien knew, that sacrifice was required for the journey to continue.
Fly, you fools.
Yep. Get the hell out. Why are you standing here looking at me? Get out of here.
Yeah.
How could the hobbits support Denver? How can the hobbits from Lord of the Rings come to Butterbur's Prancing Pony and spend your coins? I mean, that's the best way. Come see some dinosaurs. That's I would
Come see the podcast studio. Taste a
Yeah.
soda with us.
exactly.
that
yeah,
sounds great.
seriously. Message us up on our Facebook page or
Greg, you didn't-
Best Western Denver and let
Best
us know
Western
when
Denver.
you're passing through town. We'll have you on and we'll try
I-
some sodas together.
You
I'd
haven't
be
told them
more
your-
than glad.
Your stupid soda joke that you do every time.
Oh, well, okay. Since we're nominally still a Mystery Science Theater 3000 podcast,
Yes.
Mystery Science Theater was filmed in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. So we have what is known as the Mini Soda Review.
Mini soda.
So it's a belabored pun, but we have some rules of the road. It has to be...
That joke is in every
ha-
episode.
It is. It has to be not made with high fructose corn syrup. Has to be made with natural sweeteners.
Sugar.
Sugar. Well, sometimes sugar. Sometimes it's other
Sometimes
sweeteners.
molasses.
Yeah, exactly.
I
And
know where you get your sarsaparilla from.
We had sarsaparilla last episode. It was good. It was Sioux City sarsaparilla, and it was pretty good.
missed that
I served sarsaparilla when I worked at the Autry Museum, the Museum of the American West. It's the Gene Autry Museum right here by the LA Zoo. Yeah, I was serving beef chili, cornbread, and sarsaparilla all damn day.
Cornbread.
Sounds pretty good.
Ain't nothing
It
wrong
was a
with
job.
that.
It was a job. Yeah.
And it got you here. So,
Oh, yeah. Of course. All stepping stones.
yeah, exactly.
And now I'm marrying people in Star Wars costumes and, Gandalf costumes. It's fantastic.
It's quite a thing stepping out your door.
It is. Because you never know.
Never know
where
you'd be swept off
where you'd
to.
be swept
something
off
like
to.
that. I can't
Absolutely.
control.
You know how excited I am for this weekend? I wish you guys were able to come down to Anaheim.
We are recording all weekend.
You're heavily in
yeah,
this,
we
this
are-
production
program's
of
time.
3 fresh plays, and we've got.
Oh, it's
about-
exciting, though. That's
yeah,
exciting.
Yeah, so we've rented a studio space. We've got
yeah.
about 15 actors and producers and
yeah.
writers all coming in for what we call a podcast intensive, and we're recording.
And they
like
have to do
mad.
what we say.
That is so super cool. I'm very excited by this endeavor, guys. This is a very exciting endeavor. It's very, very cool. I can imagine the tribute to the original Orson Welles and the radio broadcasts of the era. That's the spirit of what you're doing. But it's hilarious, too.
And another thing, if you do check out our podcast and you end up liking it, we got nominated for a Rondo Hatton Award
Yeah,
this year.
for horror.
So
Excellent.
17th annual Rondo Hatton Classic Horror Awards. The category that we got was Best Multimedia Website. And it was for our radio play parodies. So if you do like our play lists,
Category 20.
if you'd like to just Google search Rondo Hatton Awards, and it'll give you the instructions on how to vote for us. Basically, you email it
Of course.
to a particular person.
Of course. It's so exciting.
Or maybe leave us a nice review on Apple or on anything.
You can
really.
leave us a bad review too.
I know we got a review recently, and it was like 4.5 stars for our radio plays, half star for the regular podcast. I was like, oh,
Oh, my God. I mean, well, you know what? I'll take it.
yeah.
I
Well,
need-
it's the 4.5 star you got to remember.
Yeah, that's the ones you want. They'll help to rectify
You got to
that.
be optimistic.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, where there's life, there's hope, as Tolkien once said. We're letting our audience know that we're near the 10-minute mark. It's going to be 6:30 when we sign off. So we've got 10 more minutes to talk about the excitement.
In 10
which-
minutes, we turn to stone.
Only with, Dawn take you all and be stoned to you.
take you all.
That was like the Hobbit animated film from the 70s had more accurate dialogue than Peter Jackson's live version of The Hobbit. In many cases. It's true.
And cool songs.
Yeah, and some really cool. Oh my gosh, remember Oh, where are you going with beards all a-waggin'? No knowin', no knowin' what brings Mr. Baggins and battlin' and dwellin' here down in the valley. Ha ha. Which is how Tolkien writes it.
Yeah,
He
ha,
actually writes the
ha.
poem, and in his last line of the poem it says, ha ha.
Yeah.
It's like, and so they musically put that
16 birds
in
in
five
5
fir
fir
trees.
trees. What funny little birds, they have no wings.
The 16 birds in 5 fir trees. But funny little birds, they had no wings. Oh, what
shall we do with these funny, little things? Oh, what shall we do with
the
those
funny little things? Roast them alive or stew them in
In
a
a
pot.
pot.
Boil them, bake them, eat them hot. Bake them, toast them, fry them, roast them, till beards blaze and eyes glaze, till hair smells and skins crack, fat melts and bones black, in cinders lie beneath the sky. So the
I don't know all of
dwarves shall die.
Now I'm just gonna go home and rewatch it now. Now, how do you like
Very
the
nice.
Rankin Bass Lord of the Rings
That
with
is-
the rotoscope?
You mean that wasn't Rankin and Bass? That was
No, that's not
Mr.
Rankin.
Ralph Bakshi.
Oh, it's Bakshi. You're
That
right.
was
It is
Ba-
Bakshi.
Mr. Bakshi, who did Fritz the Cat.
Yeah, yeah.
And Wizards and American
I
Pop.
love Wizards.
Me too.
And
Wizards.
Fire and Ice. Didn't he do Fire and
Yes,
Ice too?
he did.
I love Fire and Ice.
He got into a creative relationship with Mr. Frank Frazetta and did all the character designs and did. Let's make a Frazetta illustrated hardcore Conan
do
the
Cool
Barbarian
World?
World. Yes, he did Cool
I
World.
love Cool World.
The disastrous Cool World with
Aw.
Brad Pitt and
He's the most cartoony one in it.
yeah, well, and who else? Gabriel Byrne as the lead, and Hollywood if she could. And the newspapers actually said, and tonight she will. On the release date, the ad for Cool World said, and tonight she will. They changed Hollywood sign on the hills.
No.
It's Justin, correct me. It's the last time that the Chamber of Commerce or the City of LA has allowed them to alter the Hollywood sign. It was for Ralph Bakshi, who was
Worth it.
the first director to ever take on The Lord of the Rings, ambitiously. And not to everyone's taste, but that rotoscoping and all the psychedelic effects in Ralph Bakshi's film are a classic.
I just don't know why
They're
Sam's
just
so
a
ugly.
classic.
Why is Sam so ugly?
Why does Sam look like a sack of
The
potatoes?
rest of them look gorgeous, and Sam looks like a monster.
It's so funny.
It's just like, so he's poor, so he's ugly?
Maybe he's supposed to.
He's
look
the only
like
one who gets married in the end.
Taters, precious. What's taters, huh? And actually, yeah, I don't know, but Frodo just looks
Boil
like
them, mash them,
Uh,
stick them in a pot.
stick him in a stew. I
Till bones black and whips. No, you do the.
I do it. I do get a lot of people confusing and thinking, is Rankin Bass the same studio that did what Ralph Bakshi did? But keep in mind, Bakshi got screwed over by United Artists, and he never got to finish the story. He never got to make part 2.
Yeah.
So
They do quite a bit, though.
they go all the way up to the end of Helm's Deep, and that's it.
They even show Sam's like garden vision, right? Him, where he takes the ring and wins. Basically, he takes the ring and defeats the enemy. Right?
That happens in the Rankin Bass Return of the King. which
Okay,
Decided they got
Too
the
many
license.
movies.
No, because it was an unfinished license. Because
Mm-hmm.
Bakshi never got to finish the story. Then the TV producers of Rankin and Bass did another telefilm and finished with Return of the King. And that, you see, there's this whole crisscross.
Yeah.
But I get so granular with this Tolkien stuff. But that's why we're here, anyways.
That's why you run the podcast, and I'm just a guest.
No, you guys, I want to ask what your level of enthusiasm or what your level of knowledge is, even with Amazon Studios throwing down $500 million to make this new series that they're going to make in Middle-earth.
You just told me everything
Well,
I know.
We were.
Is that
we
your
were,
first hearing about
in
it?
The,
No, I've heard
we
of
were
it.
in
Oh my
the
God.
ride share. No, we were in the ride share over here, and I was like, "Quick, you better look it up. He's gonna ask us."
and I didn't.
Yeah, we forgot to look it up. We know of it, but
The money is staggering.
look,
Yeah.
if
Because
it's
they've
handled-
committed just $500 million to the property rights, another $500 million to production and marketing. It's
Not-
$1 billion price tag already.
Not knowing anything about what the production and the end product is going to look like, I think as long as they handle it respectfully, and take us down a different path and different journey, I'm open to it. I think it could be fun. And again,
They're going into the appendix. The appendix
go
is
back
like,
to the appendix.
which is at the start of the show. That's what you said you wanted to read.
That and here's the thing
See?
that every
We're going
time
to
I
these
talk.
unexplored corners of Middle Earth. I
Well,
love
every
it.
time I talk to somebody who is a true blue Tolkien fan, they get to the end of the books and then they say, "I don't feel done."
Isn't that a thing?
And so here's something new, and maybe it's based on Tolkien, but it's not Tolkien writing. But it's a chance to maybe not feel like you're done.
Well, according to what we've heard, they've also licensed all the existing footage that Peter Jackson has used and unused footage, and they've licensed all the costumes.
Are they back in New Zealand too?
Don't know yet. They're trying to make arrangements with the government and trying to make sure that the actors don't form a union.
It's filmed in Hoboken.
Could be.
I was just about to make a Hoboken joke.
filmed
me
in
to it.
downtown Burbank.
Always Hoboken joking. That's you.
Well, the Jungle Book was filmed in downtown L.A. And Jon Favreau made that work. So
Christopher Walken didn't even know they're making a movie.
he just thought he was singing his ape song,
Kind of speak talking.
I want to be like you.
I want to be like you.
So here's the thing. I'm staggered at the amount of money, and that also makes me think that they're going to really be careful with it because it is the most costly intellectual property in the history of the television medium, period. Costly that we don't even know yet because they haven't even got under the lens yet. And they've released an online map of Middle-earth that goes back to the Second Age, when Numenor still exists. I mean, revealing that, which is what we've been talking about on this show ad nauseum for week after week after week. When they showed this map and said, "Oh, hello, welcome to the Second Age," all bets were off because everyone was thinking they're going to start the show with a young Aragorn concept, talking about what that character's early life was like. Now we realize they're going to be talking about the forging of the Rings of Power, going way, way back into the way back of what's in the appendix.
Like the
It's in the
Nine
appendix.
Do we know what those rings do?
We're going to learn more about that. Tolkien did not have a lot to say about the dwarven rings. he had a lot to say about the nine rings for men, and the one, and the 3 that the elves had.
Yeah.
But he said Tolkien had the least amount of information about what the 7 dwarven rings were all about. But we know a little bit. There's some lore in there. But
You
I'm
can use
excited.
them to
I'm just
open
excited.
beers.
You can open up, like the backside of a lighter. Just
Yeah.
pop the beer bottle off.
Last question.
The last question from Justin in the Peanut Gallery.
You in the back.
Hi, first time caller. Since you do a MST3K Mystery Science Theater podcast, is the animated Lord of the Rings worthy of that show? Is there anything Middle Earth that would be appropriate for MST3K, or is it still too good?
Probably Battle of the Five Armies.
Yeah, Battle of the Five Armies is
To be honest, I don't even know if
Hasn't
there'd be
Rift
much
Tracks
to. I
done
don't-
some of them?
Oh well, first off, Rift Tracks will do anything.
They will.
It does not have to be a bad movie to be riffed. I mean, like Citizen Kane would be awesome. Wizard of Oz would be the greatest movie to riff ever. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
a wonderful movie. But I know they've done Jaws, which is the best movie. So they can do any movie. So
You're
they
gonna need a
probably
bigger
have
boat.
done. They probably have
But-
done Lord of the Rings.
But there's a ton of fantasy movies inside the wheelhouse of
Yeah.
Mystery Science Theater. They're constantly doing fantasy movies. So
But I think they could do Bakshi's.
which
Actually,
of the fantasy movies?
He says which of the fantasy movies that's closest to Lord of the Rings that should be deservedly, that's already done, that should be
that
deservedly
they can
spoofed.
watch either on Netflix or YouTube. Rob, you call
Game of
this one.
Thrones.
No. Like a bad movie that's a fantasy-based movie that Mystery Science
I would
Theater.
say Krull.
I
I would say Krull.
They did.
Rift Tracks did Krull.
They did Krull.
They
How
just
about
that stupid eagle. First off,
Beastmaster?
Cave Dwellers would be one.
Yeah.
And the prequel to that, which is that stupid soaring eagle. What's its stupid name?
back in my day, the ultimate fantasy cheese was the Sword and the Sorcerer.
It was the fighting eagle.
so
He's the fighting
satisfying.
eagle.
Yeah.
But it was the ultimate cheese.
Ator,
Ator,
the
Ator.
fighting.
Oh,
So if
yeah.
you go watch Ator, the Fighting Eagle, which is on Netflix right now, that's from the new season of 12. That's
Yes.
absolutely really close to being like a Lord of the Rings one. And also, if you check out season 11, check out Wizards of the Lost Kingdom and Wizards of the Lost Kingdom 2. They actually do the first and the second one back to back.
Oh, really?
And they're terrible and they're wonderful. So check those out.
Terribly good and wonderful.
Yes.
Like David Lynch's Dune.
Yeah.
Terribly good and wonderful and terrible at the same time. Hey, we're not signing off just yet. You guys, I want to say thank you to our guests. We're going to see you very soon.
Catch one 8 p.m.
Catch one 8 p.m.
Zombie
tomorrow night
Nightmare.
for Zombie Nightmare. And for myself, thank you to everyone out there in the wide world. We're very excited about the presence of the Tolkien movie, which Fox Searchlight is going to release on May 10th, and we'll be talking much more about it. This is our last broadcast before we go to WonderCon in Anaheim this weekend. So see you there, everybody. We'll be there. I am QuickBeam2000 online at Instagram and Twitter, and we are theonering.net, your one-stop place for all J.R.R. Tolkien. We'll see you at WonderCon this weekend. Look at our programming on the schedule, and we'll see you soon. And next Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Thanks again, guys. Thank you. Thank you both
Thank
very
you.
much for
Be
being
winky.
here. Cheers, everybody. Good night.